This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is The Ramsey Show. It's where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life, about your money, about your work, your purpose, your relationships, your family, your marriage, your children. It's the whole enchilada because this life is full, and we want to give you hope with practical solutions and steps for you to take so that you can be and do what you are supposed to be doing. 888-825-5225 is the number. I'm Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, and I'm joined by my colleague, also Ramsey personality, Dr. John Deloney, and we are here together to take your questions. So I just gave you the gamut. Bottom line is we are here for you. We want to talk to you, and today may be a day where you have some breakthrough, where you feel safe to just call in. You know, I point this out on my show, John. I don't know if you do this on yours, but, you know, we routinely on the Ken Coleman Show change people's name and location because of the sensitivity. You're talking about change your career, talking about a toxic boss or coworker. You're talking about extremely sensitive stuff in the mental and emotional state, relationships. So I want to point that out. Kelly will do that. And you know, I pointed out on my show a good bit because we want people to feel the safety. We'll change the location, your name, the whole 9 yards. John and I won't know anyway.
Absolutely.
We just call out what's on the board.
I got a note from somebody on Instagram recently saying, hey, thanks for taking my call. And I didn't recognize the name at all. And then in parentheses, they said, by the way, I was Rick. And I was like, oh, good. Yeah. So, man, just we'll disguise anything. We want to keep you safe. And I'll give you an opportunity to be open and vulnerable. And we can get down to it, man.
That's it. So let's do it. Jeffrey starts us off today in Austin, Texas. Jeffrey, how can we help?
Hey, Ken. Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
So yesterday I took the career assessment test. Been in the same role for about 5 years here. I'm not looking to start over into like an entry level into a totally new field. But, you know, some of the positions I'm interested in, I'll have applicable knowledge and skills, but I've never worked exactly in that role. So my question is, how do I take my past working experience on my resume and pitch myself into a related career path, but that's not necessarily on the same side of the same fence?
Yeah, well, I think it's a really good question, but I think you're just overthinking it. And so when we overthink, and I got the doc here next to me, he'll add some actual scientific stuff to what I'm about to say. This is good old-fashioned common sense. When I overthink, I know that I've got to then withdraw from all of the analysis and just go back to what I know to be true. So I'm just going to put it to you this way. When you look at that position or positions that you're talking about that you've just referenced, do you have the talent to do the work? Yes or no?
I believe so.
Come on. I want you to say that differently. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to retest you on that one. Do you have the talent, Jeffrey, to perform that role and perform it well?
Absolutely.
There we go.
Yes!
I like that. I was hoping for an abso-freaking-lutely, but I'll take absolutely. We'll give that an A-. All right. So the experience that you have, while you don't have a ton of experience in those roles you're looking at, are there elements of the experience you do have that are going to allow you to jump in and quickly get up to speed and learn? Yes or no?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, then we're done.
Conversation over, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be so simple, but dude, you've got this. And by the way, the reason I ask those simple questions like that, and John, I want you to come in here and give the scientific, counseling approach to this. But Jeffrey, the reason I ask you those questions, I think you just need to remind yourself of that on a regular basis. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with you or abnormal. I mean, this is kind of normal human condition stuff. But I need to remind myself of the facts. And your feelings sometimes, don't represent the facts. Let's get the facts, and I think the feelings will follow in this situation. So when you present yourself, from the moment you apply to the moment you're in the interview, you're ready. You got an answer for it. Because then you can say, well, this past experience, here's how this translates. And remember, you're in an interview where they're just simply trying to determine one thing. Can you help them win?
Yeah, can you help them make money? And will you be someone who's not an idiot to be around? I think we also get hung up on job titles. We see people who have title of assistant vice president or assistant whatever, and we think, man, they are like fill in the blank, not us. Stand up tall. There's a lot of psychology about standing up tall, about body posture, about looking yourself in the mirror, picking your chin up, and acknowledging I can do this job. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to people, but acknowledge I can do this job. And here's something else, Ken, that I think is important. It may be that I don't have direct experience in this particular skill, but I do have peripheral experience that proves that I can learn this very quickly.
100%.
And I will walk alongside you. So sometimes it might be, have you done this thing versus, man, they're close, or I've proven I can learn this. Then you bring that with your spine straight and your chin up. You bring that kind of attitude to the interview.
Yeah, it's exactly right. You know, everything to me at this time of year with football all over the place. I love football. You know, if you were on special teams, and a lot of guys get in the NFL, John, just by playing special teams. You know, they're not playing first-team defense or offense. So the way they get in, they make the 53-man roster by simply being the guy who's willing to run down the field like a kamikaze pilot and just crush the other ball carrier. Mm-hmm. Well, these guys all want to play another position. Some of them want to be on offense. Some of them want to be on defense. And they're trying to convince that coach, just like Jeffrey's trying to convince a potential employer, that while I haven't started before in this role, I do know how to tackle, coach, and I can learn how to read the defense in the linebacker position. That's the idea.
Dude, that's a great analogy, because I'm also going to show you in practice. I'm going to work my butt off in practice. I'm going to show you. Yep. And then when I get put on the field in whatever weird situation, yep, I'm going to run 100 miles an hour towards that guy.
Yeah. Yep.
And
yep,
I may not make that big difference to the end of the game, but that guy tomorrow is going to remember me, because he's going to have my number tattooed across his chest.
Well, who's the coach going to call when the starter goes down?
That's exactly right.
The first name that pops up. And so stay with us in this analogy, folks, because there's some broad teaching here. When we transfer and we move and we pivot, and we got a billion Americans thinking about doing that right now, the transferable skill and experience does, in fact, transfer. Show them the application, and just like that football player that wants to go from being a special teams player to the starting free safety, you're going to show them that you can learn, that you're coachable, that you got all the raw stuff. And in this world, John, increasingly companies are doing all the training themselves.
Yes. Show them you know how to fight, and you've got grit, and you will show up. And yes.
And so here's why I make that point, John. Don't assume that you got to show up day one ready to go. They're going to train you.
They're going to train you how to do it how they want it done anyway, right?
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this question. So over the course of my career, I've hired a bajillion employees, but most of them were new employees. This is their first professional job, or maybe their second professional job. They are now 5 years, 10 years later, some of them 15 years later, circling back, and they are applying for leadership positions.
Yes.
They've been working up through their career. I am getting an overwhelming amount of calls from former colleagues that are frenzied. I got to move. I got to do this. I've been here 1 year. I got to move to this thing. What would you tell folks who are just feeling this panic and frenzy? I got to go.
No, I would say that opportunity is not fleeting.
That's it.
Opportunity is going to be there. If it's not a burning heart desire to really move, and if it's not the right move to keep you going on the path and it moves you faster, chill out.
Chill out.
You're on the path, man.
I'll start using that.
Breathe a little bit.
Chill out.
Chill out. Opportunities aren't just fleeting. The dream is going to be there, I promise. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. He is Dr. John Deloney. I am Ken Coleman, and this is The Ramsey Show.
Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless.
Welcome back to The Ramsey Show, America. Thrilled to have you with us. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Dr. John Deloney. We're taking your calls, 888-825-5800. 888-5225. It is a free number, 888-825-5225. Here at Ramsey Solutions, we are on a mission, not just on this show, but through our entire company, to transform lives. And we want to disrupt the culture in the money culture, the work culture, relationship culture, and we know that that's not normal. But we want you for a moment, just imagine being a part of this team. A team that's on a mission to make all of that disruption a reality through doing work every day. At Ramsey Solutions, we have 1,000 people working together to create digital products and services that will transform people's lives. If you want to join us on that crusade, we are on the hunt for software engineers with expertise in Ruby on Rails, Java, C#, and front-end technologies. Or if you're a UX designer, SEO, or content marketing specialist, we'd love to talk with you. Find out about all the available jobs by texting WORK to 33789. Text the word WORK to 33789 to find out about all of our open opportunities. And I would point out, if you go to kencoleman.com and download the free resume guide and use that template, HR looks at you a little bit closer. That is an absolute fact, so there's a little extra tip.
I didn't know that.
Well, it's a Ramsey Solutions resource, and they see that, and they go, oh, they pay attention to what's going on. Yeah, it's just a little tip.
I like it.
Not guaranteeing you anything.
I think what I just heard is Ken Coleman said, if you use that resume guide,
you'll get the job.
You got the job.
No, that would be false advertising. I did not say that. So, but I do think it'll get you some special attention, and then you got to earn it on your own. So
I like it.
Just a little tip there. 888-825-5225. John joins us in Amarillo, Texas. John, how can we help?
By morning.
Hello, John.
How are we doing, guys?
Great.
Doing great. What's going on?
So, having an issue, or not really an issue, but...
Hey, John, can you talk into your phone for us? Talk directly into that phone there.
Yes, sir. Just a second.
Okay.
Okay, is that better?
Excellent.
There
Excellent.
we go.
So, wife and I were discussing how much we should be spending on our grocery budget while we're in baby step 2. And it's been fluctuating the last few months between $250 to $300, just depending upon the week, but that's for a household of 4.
Wow.
Is that about right?
What's your take home? What's your take home pay?
So weekly, I take home about $2,000, $2,100, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that there's any normal percentage on this, but I mean, how's the family doing? Are the kids getting skinnier? I mean, what are we doing here? Are they struggling? Are we not have any food?
No, I think we've actually got plenty. I actually think we could scale back a little more. And
that's what I thought.
That was my question: is should we try to slim the budget down a little bit more? I mean, we're on track to be completely debt free in about 4 months.
Oh, yeah.
So
what's the wife's
not a huge
position?
time frame, but
Let me back, John. Is this $250 a month or a week?
no, $2,000 a week.
No.
On groceries.
On groceries, roughly about $200 to $250 a week.
A week. Okay, I was thinking a month.
I thought the way you said it, I thought it was a month, and I was like, man, that's why I thought the kids were getting skinny.
Dude. Okay, so about $800 a month.
Yeah, I definitely think you guys can cut from that. But you said you and the wife were talking about it. It's the way this phone call
she doesn't
started.
want to cut, right?
So we've kind of talked about it, and the deal is both of us are on board to cut back if we need to, but right now with what we're spending, we're on track to be debt free in 4 months. So
yeah, it's not like you're behind the eight ball.
A big issue.
So what's the heart behind the call? Is it a disagreement on food values? You want to buy organic foods and you don't want to, or you're not cutting back on something, so she didn't want to cut back. What's the heart of this question?
The big part of it is, should we cut back a little more to get out of debt maybe a month sooner than what we're anticipating currently?
Well, my answer to that is why not? I mean, but I don't think there's a wrong answer here. We're talking about being debt-free in 3 months versus 4 months, and we're talking about this is about the amount of nachos and hot dogs we buy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it gets down to I don't know, John.
Do you have two seniors in high school who are 6'11" and they eat raw meat or you got new kids? Ken, you're right.
I just don't think there's a wrong answer, John.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. You're 4 months away from being debt-free, and you're calling us about your grocery budget. Look, dude, I say make the call, and I would go with what Mama wants. I've been married 23 and a half years. That's where I'm leaning on this particular one.
Yeah.
If Mama wants a little extra in the cupboard, I'm going to go, okay, dear.
And if you guys are on track to do this by the new year, right? So, there's not a way to lose here. The only way to lose here is to fight over something that's not worth fighting over.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, this is not worth it.
No, not here.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. And that's a gazelle intensity, John.
Yeah.
It's like, well, we're debt-free in 4 months, but if we really cut our grocery budget.
If we don't eat in October, we could have this done in November.
Yeah, it's like we don't have to do that. Good job there. I love it. You know what? I'd keep buying the steak and make sure we did something real special. Big grill out when we paid it off.
I do like this, though. I like we're going to go through every line in this budget.
Yes.
And when you step back and look at a family of 4 and say, our grocery bill is $800 a month. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. And what are we buying? How are we buying it? Where are we buying it from? What stores? What food are we? Anyway, you can go down those lists, and I do love that. You're 4 months out, man.
4 months out. And I got 2 teenage boys. I got a 13 and 15. Can I just tell you something? When I walk up to the carts at Costco, there's like a big sound, a trumpet blows, and they go, "Welcome, Coleman's." The amount of eggs and I just saw today a headline that the cost of bacon is going up. And I thought, now this is the sign of the apocalypse. we like to be hopeful here at Ramsey Solutions. We always believe control what you can, but the price of bacon is going up. This is when we've got to do something.
I've got a 6th grader, and we're backing trucks up to the house. I don't understand where it goes.
Oh, he's got a hollow leg.
Yes.
And by the way, as he gets older, it's only going to get worse. Imagine having 2 of those.
I can't wrap my head around that financially.
Yeah. I cook the food at the house, and as quickly as I cook it, it's gone. I told Stacy I would like to at least put a little moratorium. Like, can it sit on the table for 5 minutes?
Just to look at it.
Maybe I could take a picture and document that I actually did this.
You know what? I think that's where Instagram of photos of food started. It was just a poor parent saying, hey, I want to document that this happened
true.
before my children inhale it through one of their nostrils.
Oh, my gosh. That is so true. I love it. All right. Blinds.com's 100% satisfaction guarantee means even if you mismeasure or pick the wrong color, which would be me, by the way, they'll remake your blinds for free. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best deal.
All right, today's question comes from Chad in California. I'm 19. I've never been a good student. I was more interested in making money and helping others. I have an e-commerce business that took off this year. I've made $103,000 in profit. Live with my parents, and they think I'm going to community college. I'm scared they'll kick me out if they find out the truth. Should I continue pursuing my business venture or go back to school and have the safety net of being able to live at home? If I choose the business route, I won't have the financial safety of living with my parents anymore.
Good grief, John. Okay, this is really more your angle
It's
here.
not.
There's so much onion here. I would do the business, but I'd be a man and talk to mom and
My
dad. My
11-year-old would solve this. Tell the truth to your parents. You're making 6 figures.
They're not going to kick you out.
No, you should
Or if they do,
out.
you should be anyway.
Yes.
I agree. Goodness gracious.
Chad, you've made this way too complicated. This is a 19-year-old question. Be honest with your parents. Tell them that you're making 6 figures. Congratulations. And if they kick you out, we get an apartment. You can afford it for the next decade.
It's kind of humorous now that we've answered it. This is next level deception. My parents think I'm going to community college, but I'm a real life Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I'm
more money than
building
them.
a business on the side. Dude, what are you hiding from? Wow, appreciate the question. Talk to mom and dad. All right, folks, don't move. He's John Delaney. I'm Ken Coleman, and you're listening to The Ramsey Show. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Dr. John Deloney. And we are coming to you from our Nashville headquarters at Ramsey Solutions Studios. So thrilled that you've joined us. 888-825-5225 is the number to jump in. 888-825-5225. And I look out on the debt-free stage in the lobby, and I see Alex and Katie. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, where are you guys in from?
We're from Provo, Utah area.
Provo, Utah.
Yeah.
All right.
Go Cougs.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. There we go. Okay, big football fan. I like that.
Awesome.
I like that a lot. Okay, you're here to do a debt-free scream, so let's talk here. How much debt did you pay off?
Okay, are you ready for this? About
Yes.
$640,000.
Whoa! And I see you got 2 kids, so I'm assuming you sold
most of it.
Sold a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah, the other 2 aren't here, but we have 4. 2 are with us today.
So fun. All right, how long did it take to pay off $640,000?
About 12 years.
12 to 13.
Wow,
Yep.
12 to 13 years. Okay, what was the range of income?
Started out about 80
Mm-hmm.
and ended up at about 145.
Okay, nice. I always love to hear this story because I'm.
So is
in the
this your
business.
house?
Well, hold on.
This is,
Oh, sorry. Did I jumped the gun here?
This guy over here.
I'm all excited. This is a lot of money.
Yeah, hyperactive guy. He's got a tie on for the first time today, and it's choking the
I can't
oxygen
breathe
to
well,
his
that's
brain.
right.
That's great.
So I'm just curious, what did you do to go from 80 to 140K? Was it just good old-fashioned promotions? What happened?
Well, my husband has been self-employed for 25 years,
Oh.
and he started working for the local university and also ran his part-time now job.
Yeah.
And I have worked part-time as an audiologist, and then recently started being an adjunct professor also.
Well,
At that same
congratulations.
university. So
Yeah.
Oh,
we
look at you guys. Well,
And working a ton of
congratulations.
overtime for both of us.
I'll bet. Well, way to go. All right, John. Now you got the question.
So was this your house too?
This was not only our house, but 3 rental properties as well.
Oh, my
So we're
word.
feeling very light. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
You guys are quadruple weird if I'm doing the math
Exactly.
right. That's
Wow.
amazing.
We couldn't be more thrilled.
Yeah.
Wow. So the 640 was in totality all of the houses.
Yes,
Correct.
all of our mortgages and all of our consumer debt as
Oh,
well.
That's why I look so
goodness.
light. It's like amazing.
I know. We had to duct tape your feet to this thing.
Oh my goodness.
So what happened 13 years ago that somebody sat down and said, we can't live like this?
Well, we were on our date. We went to a play, and during intermission, we started adding up our debt. I don't know if that's normal, but that's
Nope,
what we
not
were.
at all, but go ahead.
We're not normal, as we've discussed.
That play must have been terrible.
No,
but
it was
go
actually
ahead.
really good, but we started doing it on a napkin, and we got so sick we didn't even stay for the rest of the play.
We
my.
had no idea how much debt we were in. No clue.
Wow.
Until we started jotting it down that night, and it physically made us sick. We had to leave. I was going to throw up and cry.
Yeah.
And so we left, and I threw up and I cried.
Oh my
So-
goodness. So what did gazelle intensity look like when you come home and you begin to figure out the plan? How did you did you interact with Dave, the Dave Ramsey Show, what the book? What was the guide?
It was actually, we feel like divine intervention.
Mm-hmm.
The following week after that, we were going on a road trip, and I went to just look for a book that we could read on the way, and I found The Total Money Makeover.
No
and I
kidding.
had never heard of it,
Boom.
and I'm like, oh, this looks interesting, so I bought it, and we read it on our road trip, front to back, and we've never looked back.
That is phenomenal.
Wow.
So what were some of the big changes you made?
What changes didn't we make?
Yeah.
We stopped spending more than we earned. That was a big one. We started budgeting.
We started teaching the Financial Peace University class.
Yeah,
that
we
was
did
a
that
great
multiple
motivation.
times. That
Yeah.
was a huge
Because when
motivator.
you're teaching it, you actually have to live it. So.
Isn't that the truth?
Coordinating,
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we just really were careful. And
Yeah. So I got to ask John, how old were the kids? Because I see them out there. That's 2 of the 4.
Yes.
How old were they when this journey started?
my oldest, when we started, was almost 13, and
Okay.
she's 26 now.
Okay.
And the youngest was 2, and
Oh,
he's
my.
15
He's
now.
15 now.
Oh my goodness.
So all you've known is austerity and parents with a plan. That's incredible.
Yeah, we were laughing when you were talking about all the bacon eating and stuff. 'Cause
Yes.
Oh yeah, I could tell that young man could put some bacon on.
He
it.
does.
Sure, I get that. Oh my goodness. So was there a point in the 12, almost 13-year journey where you felt like, okay, we've got some real momentum now? Because this is a lot. We're talking about 4 mortgages. That's a big mountain to scale. Talk us through that journey. What was that moment, or maybe a mile marker where you went, okay, now we feel like we're running downhill?
I don't know. I feel like we had many of those when we first paid off all of our consumer debt before we even touched our personal mortgage. That was a huge boost to us. Like, wow, we just got through baby step 2.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we
that
can
was
do this.
$92,000.
Yeah.
We're like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so once we did that, we're like, oh my goodness, we wanted to come then. We're like, oh no, let's get the house paid off first. And so we worked towards that. We're like, as soon as we get our house paid off, we're coming. And then we paid off our house, and that took years.
And we still felt like we had this debt, though, with those rentals.
Yes, and we were still motivated, seeing like we can totally do this. And we're like, let's get the next one paid off, and then we'll go.
Wow.
And then we got it paid off, and we're like, oh my goodness, we can totally do this.
Yeah.
Let's finish, baby.
Yeah.
And we finished.
what
So
advice-
We're
we've still
here.
been driving the old cars and the old furniture, all these things,
of
just to
course.
keep motivated.
What advice would you give to couples? We took a call yesterday, George Kill and I, and they were talking about how scary it was to look down the road and see a 2-year payoff date. You guys did this for a decade. You did it for more than a decade. What advice would you give to couples who are staring at their debt? They just added it all up. They just got that sick feeling in their stomach. One of them's throwing up in the bathroom, right? What would you tell them about going on this journey together?
Well, one thing is they are baby steps. You don't have to eat the whole elephant in one sitting. It's one step at a time. And that made all the difference for us. I mean, we could, immediate results with baby step number 1. I mean, that was fast. So just the baby steps. They're called baby steps for a reason.
Wow.
And that's what got us through.
And having your partner on board, I don't know how some of these people do it that don't have a spouse that really helps them, to be on the same page so you're not having to say, no, we're not going out to eat because, things like that. When the spouse agrees and you can actually put off things that you can say we'll get later or do later.
I love it. So I think people want to know, I want to know, what are these 4 houses worth now?
Well, the housing market in Utah, like everywhere, has gone bananas.
Yeah.
And so I'm not exactly sure. Ballpark, probably close to about $2 million.
Whoa! Watch out.
We have everyday millionaires.
Oh, easy.
Baby step
Oh,
millionaires.
easy. That is so cool.
Wow.
Boy, that's why you're so light, Alex. I mean, you're practically, we have to tie you to the stage just to do this debt-free scream. Well, that is so awesome. You guys represent what I think is that this is long-term thinking. And that led to those baby steps, the discipline, and just staying with it. Now you sit so pretty. You're still young. You got great kids. Their life is forever changed as well. So fantastic. Hey, what we want to do for you, we want to give you 2 books to kind of just show our love and appreciation for you and model in this way. First is we're going to give you Dave's book, The Legacy Journey, because that's the next step for you. This is all about impact and legacy for you all now. And then we're going to give you a brand new copy of Total Money Makeover for you to give to somebody else and bless them because it worked for you. And so we want you to pay that forward. All right, let's do this. Are we going to get the kids up there? I know they're younger. Okay, so we're bringing up Madeline and AJ. All right. And AJ's 15. Madeline, how old is Madeline?
Madeline is almost 23.
Almost 23. Well, look at the smiles on that family's face. Really good stuff. All right, let's do this thing. Alex and Katie, Madeline and AJ from Provo, Utah. They paid off $640,000 in 12 years, making $80,000 to $145,000. Let's hear your debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
My left ear. We're going to have to get that looked at during the break, Doc. Are you qualified to do that?
She's an audiologist.
She's amazing. That is so guttural because that is the end of a journey where they just crossed the finish line emotionally. I love that. What a great family. Wow. All right, folks. That's why we do the show right there. Don't move. This is The Ramsey Show. Ramsey Show continues. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by Dr. John Deloney, my colleague. We're Ramsey Personalities, and we are your host this hour. 888-825-5225. That's the number to jump in. 888-825-5225. Let's go to San Diego, California, where Krista is staying classy, I'm guessing. Krista, how can we help?
Hi. So I just turned 25, and I inherited about $128,000 from my mom. And my husband and I are on baby step 3, the emergency fund. We're about halfway through it. Our goal is $20,000, and we've got about 9.3. So I'm wondering if I should take out of my inheritance for completing the emergency fund, or if I should keep it in the fund that it's in right now.
What kind of a fund is it in?
It was a trust fund that opened up when I turned 25. So now it's in an individual account.
Okay. Well, what I want you to do is I want you to get with one of our Smart Investor pros out there in San Diego, California area, because there's more to this than just completing your emergency fund. But yes, I would make sure that you talk with them and figure out what you want to do with this, the whole amount, so that we can maximize this money now that it's available to you. And you guys are doing great things. But yeah, I would definitely complete the emergency fund. And then, if you're planning to, do you have kids? Did you mention you have kids? Yes or no?
No, we don't.
Okay, so right now the college fund, you don't have to worry about that per se, but I just want you to maximize this money. But yes, I think the simple answer is, let's go ahead and complete that emergency fund and keep on walking through the baby steps. That's just fantastic.
Hey, Krista, when did your mom pass away?
When I was 19, 2015.
2015, and so you just turned 25, and so the trust completed itself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mom pretty awesome?
She was, yeah.
Yeah. Would it honor her to know that you had been on this debt-free journey and that you have the financial security of an emergency fund? Would that bring a smile to her face?
I think that it would, yes.
Yeah.
She wants me, to be comfortable and to not worry about money. And so I don't want to mess up and do something that she wouldn't want me to do with the inheritance. So
Sure.
Just making sure I educate myself and do what's best for it. So.
Yeah, you're so wise. I love the idea of honoring your mom's gift with this idea of security and stability. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's what you do. I want you to make sure that you, again, play the baby steps out all the way. Play the playbook. And Mom would be so honored by that. And you still got a good chunk of inheritance to maximize.
Absolutely, yeah.
After you just do what amounts to $10,000 out of that very large sum. So, Krista, don't have any question or guilt about that, but sit down with a professional so that you maximize it. And when you do this, John, I love the approach there. It's like, Mom gave you this money. She was an amazing lady. Mm-hmm. And so maximize it.
Yeah.
Be a good steward and maximize it. And what a great way to honor your mother. Yeah. Love that. I love that. Let's go to St. Augustine, Florida, where Rich joins us. Rich, how can we help?
I'm not too bad. How are you, sir?
We are having a blast.
Well, I wish I could say the same.
Uh-oh. What happened? What's going on?
Yeah.
Trying to keep the spirits up.
Okay.
Well, I'm in the car business, and
uh-oh, it's been a rough few months,
happened.
huh?
I had a few things happen, but a lot of changes in my life recently. I've been divorced. The divorce cost me a lot of money. I ended up moving from Connecticut to Florida. Mm-hmm. Was doing very, very well down here, and ended up getting Cash App scammed for $15,000 right out of the account, which brought me down to $5,000, and it was pretty tough to deal with that. I ended up moving back up to where I am now, St. Augustine, getting a car sales job up here, doing very well, and now we're running out of cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do. I have obviously terrible credit. I had to go through a bankruptcy. There's a long story to go with that. But that happened. So not a lot of debt at the moment, but not a lot of savings, not making close to what I used to be able to be.
So what was your income? Give me an average range of income before the hit to selling cars. So with this low inventory, what was it before it slowed down?
So it varies, but I would say I was making per month. I mean, we do get paid per week, but I would say per month I was making $15,000.
Yeah. What's the forecast? What are your leaders telling you? I mean, because they're having to react just like you are. But what's the forecast on this? What are you hearing?
Nobody knows.
Okay. Well,
I'm at a store right now where, what most stores are doing are loading up on pre-owned vehicles and selling those because the new ones aren't coming in at a higher rate. And our store's not really doing that. We do have a pre-owned lot, but there's not much in it. And I went from making what I was making to making, we're talking $400 to $600 a week.
Okay,
a good
Rich,
week is $1,200.
So, Rich, we've got ourselves an urgent moment. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but here's the deal.
I'm wondering, do I stick with the job or do I find another profession?
You got to sell something else. Right now, this isn't even about purpose or profession. We're kind of going, okay, we want to get ourselves stable. Okay, you've taken a lot of hits, a lot of financial hits from the divorce to the scam. You said you didn't have a lot of debt, but all of a sudden you got a big hit to your income. And what I'm thinking first and foremost is you're a good salesperson, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then I would get after it. We are in a really good economy right now for jobs, okay? And so I'm looking at anything and everything that I could sell that would get me in that $10,000 to $15,000 a month range, because you were making 15 at your high. And so I think if that the roller coaster of car sales, I think 10 to 15 you'd be fine, correct?
Correct.
Then I would get after that. I think this is an urgent situation. And I think you hanging around at the car lot, wasting away emotionally is what I'm concerned about, John. I'm concerned about that. I want him to get healthy emotionally, but he also needs to kind of get the financial stuff stable, and then we can get some healing.
So, Rich, I love what Ken just said. This is an emergency. Okay? I want you to treat it like such. And also, step back 30,000 feet and look at your life. Divorce, about to lose your job, salesman, you were balling at $15,000 a month, and now you're making below minimum wage. You got scammed.
Correct.
All these things are identity hits. I'm a loser. I'm dumb. I'm not who I once was. I'm not even lovable. And that's all bullcrap. It's all a lie. You're in a lull. And when somebody is struggling like you are, the key is little tiny wins. Over and over and over. I'm going to get up at this time and I'm going to go exercise. I'm going to get up at this time and I'm going to call somebody and say, I love you. I'm going to get up today. I'm going to apply for 3 sales jobs because I'm a stud salesman. I just can't sell things that don't exist anymore, and that's out of my control. You're a hard worker, brother. You got a good spirit.
I'm a very hard worker.
I know you are.
Up in Connecticut, I've been sales manager.
Dude, hey, you're making great money. You don't got to convince me. What you have, the person you got to convince right now is you.
Yep.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So I want you to stand up tall, stare down the mirror. I want you to get on the phone. The world needs salesmen. Like Ken says, it's a hot economy. There's just no cars to sell, brother.
By the way, you're already trained, so don't let this doubt creep in. Well, I've only sold cars. That doesn't matter. You were selling solutions that had an engine and 4 tires.
That's exactly right.
And so you got to really transfer that experience and skill set. And I'm going to echo what my colleague said. He's absolutely right, Rich. This season that you're in is not your sentence. You better make sure that you take steps forward to change your life, and it's right there in front of you.
Little wins.
Hey, I want to thank our producer, Ben Hill, our associate producer, Kelly Daniel. I want to thank my colleague, Dr. John Deloney. And we want to thank you, America. This is your show. This is The Ramsey Show.
Have a friend or family member that needs a daily dose of Ramsey advice in their life? Let them know about the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast. It's a quick hit of advice about life and money in under 10 minutes. Check out the Ramsey Call of the Day podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is The Ramsey Show. It's where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Dr. John Deloney, and the phone number to jump in. This very important conversation, your future, your life, your contribution, is 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. To the phones we go. Elisa joins us now in Denver, Colorado. Elisa, how can we help?
Hello, Ken. I was originally calling for you, but if I think seriously about it, I think it might be a Deloney question.
I promise you, it's a combo, whether you wanted it to be or not. So what's up?
I have a job opportunity. It's the same job I do now.
Which is what?
It is I'm in sales. I sell science and graphics.
Okay.
Ken, I actually called your show 2 months ago. You told me to take the job. It was a different job. Take the job, but it wasn't a money move, so I didn't do it. My boss gave me more money. Now I have another opportunity for even more money.
Oh, boy.
$17,000 more just on the base salary. The commission structure is another 6% better than my current job.
Okay.
On paper, it is the right thing to do.
Okay.
The healthcare package is better. The 401k package is better. I mean, everything is better. I ghosted this company who pursued me back in July. I didn't show up to an interview, and then he reached back out. Conversations are going again. He thinks I'm the right fit, even though I showed to be a terrible employee during the interview process. I am so apprehensive. I cannot pull the trigger. I cannot make the decision. So that's where John Deloney comes in.
Well, before we get to John, I want to go
Ken
back.
can pull this thing apart.
Well, no, we're gonna work on this together. But I do want to go back to you said you called my show 2 months ago, and I told you to take another job, which means leave where you are now. Why did I tell you that? I don't remember the call. Give me the quick version.
Sure, yeah. So it's the same. Before it was the same exact job for the same exact company, but it's a franchise. It would have been a different location. It wasn't a money move. Ultimately, I mean, the issue at my place of employment, I wanted to own one of these franchises one day, and when I was hired, it was understood that they would train me and mentor me throughout the process to become a franchisee.
Right, and they haven't.
And they haven't.
And
right?
so I told you, so I'm just trying to get caught up really quick. And so I told you, take this other opportunity where there's a ladder. Is that about right?
That is correct.
Because that's what I would tell anybody who called in. Okay, great. So, okay.
Yeah.
And so, yes, let's get to the apprehensive stuff. What are you so afraid of? Name it specifically.
So specifically, this job is set up different. Everything is done third party. I'm more like a graphics broker and less like a side. Like where I work now, we make everything in-house. We work directly with the customer. I'll be working directly with the customer, but I'll be giving.
What are you scared of?
Elisa,
what are you scared of?
You sound like a politician, like at a press conference. I didn't get a straight answer. Elisa, tell us, what are you so afraid of?
I'll be working from home, and I'm terrified of that. I don't think I have the discipline to work from home.
Great. That's one thing. What's another thing you're afraid of?
I am also the sole breadwinner. My husband is a stay-at-home parent, and I'm afraid the ramp-up period to where I start making commission will be too great. And going into the winter seasons and Christmas time, if I was on baby step 3, I would do this in a second, but I'm not. I'm on baby step 2, and I'm scared to make the move now. I feel like I'm jumping from the ship to the dock instead of just stepping over. But it's the same exact job.
Yeah, but I thought you said that there was
17 grand.
I thought the 17 grand was already there. That didn't even take account for the commission.
Yeah, that's just a base salary. It's $57,000 a year.
Right,
I make 80 now, so I mean, if assuming that I don't sell anything for a year, then really it's a $23,000 pay cut. I know that I'm not going to sell anything for a year. I'm going to sell stuff, but the first few months.
Okay, so let's stay right there. That's the monster under the bed, right?
Okay.
Other than the stay at home. And I think, John, I would love John to speak to that because I think there's some stuff there. I think you got to listen to that because I tell you right now, I could not work from home.
No,
I couldn't. But let's talk about the financial piece. I'll let John tackle the other. The financial piece is, okay, what would need to be true for the first 2 or 3 months that we would need to cut back on? Where would we cut? How would we adjust our budget? What would we do differently just to pad that to where you're not in a desperate situation, you're just in a hustle situation? There's a big difference there. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm in a desperate situation. Like I went and got a different bank account the other day because my other bank account was $1,500 overdrawn, and I didn't want my direct deposit to go somewhere. I mean, I am in a desperate situation.
Okay, well, that's breaking news to John and I, so that would have been nice to know.
Lead with that one.
Well, that's new, and I mean, and I've never money stuff. I've never dealt with the money situation that I've dealt with now. I paid off $40,000 in debt, and then all of a sudden, I'm just like screwing up royally.
So I actually wrote down here, monster. This has nothing to do with your job.
No.
You're a woman who's scared to death.
Yes.
And you are on a ship that you think is sinking, and you are looking for the first place to jump off of. And right before you jump every time, whether it's your husband, whatever, someone's holding you by the sock and you're not jumping. But you got something going on at your house that you're not safe or you're not okay or something's not right. Because
I'm an alcoholic and I have a gambling addiction.
There we go.
Yeah. I mean, I'm totally fine with admitting to those things, and I've been praying about it, and I've been working on it, and all of it is getting better. But I don't know if all of those things need to be better before I take the job.
At least it's not getting better. You're in the whole $1,500. You're now opening up new checking accounts to go under in. You got a husband that's at home that's not working. You're in a desperate mess.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you something right now. He needs to get a job.
He has to.
Yeah, but y'all wouldn't. I'm fine with getting a second job. I did that for a little while. Okay,
then
so my dad died. I had 2 cars stolen.
You need to get a second job.
He needs to get a job, but you wouldn't say that to a stay-at-home mom.
I absolutely would.
Yeah, I would too.
I absolutely would.
Wrong answer.
I don't know. I mean, I hear Dave say all the time, like, "Oh, I love it when moms can stay home."
But you can't. But he can't stay home. You guys are drowning.
Elisa, here's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing an addict, and I'm hearing an addict who's great at going to war. I'm not going to fight you. Ken's not going to fight you. You need help. You don't need a new job.
Yeah, definitely no on the new job.
You need money, and you need help. Your husband needs to get a job. You've got to get clean, and you got to have a season of peace. ASAP.
Last thing you need is the stress coming with a straight commission or a heavy commission job. Stay where you are. A second job will keep you busy, make some more money. Hubs has got to get out to work, and you guys got to get help. You can do this, though. You've done it before. You can do it again. This is The Ramsey Show.
What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings.
is The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Dr. John Deloney, and we are taking your calls this hour here on The Ramsey Show. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. Let's go to Ryan in Des Moines, Iowa. Ryan, how can we help?
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call today. I appreciate it.
You bet. What's up, man?
So, my life was kind of upside down when the pandemic hit. Things were upside down when the pandemic hit. There was my house flooded, and then my family split, and then there was a custody battle, and then I lost my business, and the hits just keep coming. And that was before the pandemic, and the email was probably pretty depressing to read. But I've got custody of my son, and just having a real challenging time getting refocused, trying to find a new purpose in life, and while at the same time taking good care of my son. There's not a lot of help from outside, from family or anything, and I'm just having a challenging time. I'm basically, my cup is empty, so
there you go.
I don't know which way to go.
Are you running your own business? You working for somebody? Give me your work status.
Well, the business I had closed during the pandemic.
Oh, no.
And so since then I've been doing some landscaping and stuff on the side to keep things going. But that's not the direction, that's not the career that I want.
Yeah. Was the business the career you want? Was it the dream job?
No. No, it was something that I started part-time while I was in college, and it turned into something bigger.
Okay.
And then it became, and then...
how much money were you paying yourself?
I would probably still try to pursue it, but since it closed, I'm thinking a new direction.
Good. Well, we got a lot to tackle here. Real quick, what was the amount of money you were paying yourself? I mean, what's that number we need to get back to financially on salary?
At least 50. It was just a small business.
Okay.
So.
You called the right guy. You've got Ken Coleman here.
Yeah,
he is a magic on.
Well, I listen all the time, and I read the proximity principle.
Yeah,
awesome. And I got about three-quarters of the way through it, and I thought, wait, I'm not clear.
Right. Well, here's what I want to do. I want John. John's got to talk with you. You've been through a 12-round heavyweight fight, and I want to applaud you for staying up. You're hustling for your son. What would you do? I think you've had a lot of time to think, man, over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You've been taking some shots. What is it that you want to do?
I thought about, I knew you were probably going to ask this, and if I had a choice, I would wake up tomorrow and I'd be on a plane and I would be doing an archaeological dig somewhere. No joke.
Tell me what you love about the archaeological dig. We're going back into something, but what do we love about that?
The history, the learning about different cultures, civilizations, how we got to where we are now, how we survived back then.
That to me, if I was going to simplify that kind of work, that's a form of research. Do you see where I'm going with that?
Sure.
Digging, researching. You're a guy. You've always been that way. Yes or no?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Love to learn.
Yeah. Well, a couple things. I want to fast forward the process for you. I want John to come in on this on the stuff you're going through. But here's what we're going to do. At the end of this call, I want to give you a link and a code to my Get Clear Career Assessment. You've probably heard me talk about it on the show.
Yes,
and I want you to take it, and then I want you to call me on the Ken Coleman Show, and we'll dive into next steps. But there are some really great clues there. You're a guy who likes to learn. You're a guy who likes to analyze what you're learning, that researching, diving for answers. I think there's a tremendous clue there, so I don't think you're very far away from tremendous clarity. But I want you to take the Get Clear Career Assessment, and then I want you to call me on the show. Will you do that?
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it.
Because we can make up some serious ground.
Yeah.
But I want John. I mean,
what happened to your marriage,
brother? Stuff.
Well, that's a good question. There was no infidelity, at least as far as I know. It seems like we just couldn't work it out. I begged and pleaded, and she wouldn't stay. So
I want to walk through a few things with you, and I'm going to say I'm real direct, but I'm saying it because I love you. Okay?
You bet.
You lost your home.
Yes.
Somebody looked you in the eye and said, "I don't love you anymore. I'm leaving."
Right.
your business went away. And Ken and I have both looked at the research that when you lose your job, it can be as devastating as the loss of a loved one. And the reason I'm saying it this starkly, you lost your home, you lost your connection, you lost your purpose, is, brother, you should be feeling low right now. You're not broken. The feelings of I don't even want to get up and I'm grinding out a landscaping job, I'm mowing yards to put food on my son's table, tells me you're a man of character, you're a man of strength, and you're going to make somebody else happy someday. You're going to build a new home, and your son won the daggum lottery getting you as his dad. And your body is reeling. I love Ken's analogy. Brother, you just went through a 12-round fight. The Nevada Athletic Boxing Commission will not let you fight for months after a heavyweight bout like that. They make you take time off because your body's got to heal. It's what you got to do. And so think of this. You were on a boat, and it was a nice one, and it wrecked, and you and your son washed up on the ocean. You got nothing. And you started finding food. You started hustling. And I want you to use this opportunity to sit on the beach and look at the sunset, hold that boy who loves you so much, and think, dude, all of this can be ours now. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you as a dad.
Yeah.
Proud of you as a community member. And once you recognize, you can see a fighter on the UFC, they'll open their eyes after they got knocked out and they say, what happened? And the referee leans down, or their doctor, their coach leans down and said, brother, you got knocked out. And then you got to go heal, and then you figure out what's next. And I want you to, acknowledge the depth of the trauma, but also acknowledge the strength you are finding. And the path out of this, you heard me say it earlier in this show, little step after little step after little win after little win. And you're going to look up in 1 year, in 2 years, in 5 years, and the sun's going to come up. You're going to have a home. You're going to have a great job because you're going to get on Ken's stuff. You're going to follow his principles to a T. He's got a brand new book coming out. I'm going to let him give it away when you call his show. Okay, if you call his show, he'll give you a copy of it.
Roger that.
And that son, here's what your son's going to get. He's going to get a ringside seat to what happens when a man gets punched in the mouth and knocked down and gets back up.
Yep.
And loves and is vulnerable and is committed. It takes little step after little step. This is legacy changing stuff. This is family tree changing stuff. Got it?
10-4.
Ryan, you're standing today, and I want you to hear something. You still have purpose. You aren't throwaway, even though your wife walked away from you. You're not damaged goods. You still have purpose as a dad, first and foremost. So here's the deal. Whether it's landscaping or a little bit better gig right now until you get completely clear on what the path is, because we're going to get you clear with the assessment. We're going to get you qualified. We're going to get you connected. We're going to get you started on that path to what you really want to do. You're going to get promoted. You're going to step into that dream job. And all the while, you've been a great dad to this young man. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are not damaged goods. Your purpose has not evaporated. Do you hear me?
I appreciate. Yeah, sir. I do.
I'm going to give you a little hack, okay? Here's the hack.
Sure.
There's a neural circuit in our mind when we talk to ourselves in I and we language, and it activates our fight or flight response. When we start thinking, should I buy this? What should I do? What job should I take? It fires our body up, dumps adrenaline and cortisol into our bodies. It sends us into fight or flight. When somebody else comes to us and says, hey, what should I do about my marriage? We're able to answer that. Well, you should do this and this. Quit being a jerk. Why don't you try helping with the dishes? Because our brain has a different circuit for dealing with them problems. So tonight I want you to sit down and I want you to write Ryan a letter in the third person. Dear Ryan. And I want you to start with the words, I love you and man, I'm proud of you. And you've got punched in the mouth. I want you to write to yourself in the third person about what tomorrow's going to look like. Your body's not going to take off on you. And then tomorrow you're going to wake up, the sun's going to come up, and it's game on, baby.
I love it. Ryan, hang on the line. We're going to get you a Get Clear career assessment. Kelly will get that to you. Take it. Do it. Call me on the show, and we're going to get that path going for you. Great stuff. You're a hero, bro. Your best is still yet to come. This is The Ramsey Show. Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Dr. John Deloney. We're here taking your calls about your life. 888-825-5225 is the number. That's 888-825-5225. If you've been paying attention to the real estate market, you've noticed that the competition between buyers out there is intense. I talked to a friend the other day, John. Said they put in an offer on a house and they were one of 23, and all of them were over asking price. This is the reality all around the country, not just here in Middle Tennessee. And that's because inventory is low. When inventory is low, it means that there are more buyers buying rather than sellers selling. It turns the pressure up on everybody. And this is not a time to go into this as an amateur. Low inventory is here to stay. To win in this market, you need a pro by your side. Our agents, our endorsed local providers, help you buy or sell. They've got years of industry success and refuse to compromise your financial goals, no matter how tough the competition is. Go to RamseySolutions.com/agent. That's RamseySolutions.com/agent and find a trusted agent near you. 888-825-5225.
25 offers, man.
Yeah, that's true. Right here in a local neighborhood where it was a new house, new construction. They were all excited about it, talked with their real estate agent, got the offer ready, and then they found out like within hours, yeah, there's like 25 more offers. And they were in the low range. They weren't the lowest. And they offered over asking. And so there's your supply demand. Not a time, to our point, to be messing around. Because you can get fleeced. I mean, you really get in trouble.
Oh, big time.
It's a bidding war.
Yeah.
So anyway, crazy stuff. All right, let's go to New York City, New York, the Big Apple. Lisa is there. Lisa, how can we help?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm calling because my husband and I just bought a property in Florida, and we are planning to move, and we're very excited. Now, I started a business when my son was born. I'm a child psychologist, and back then I wasn't, but I got my PhD now. I started a business that was childcare, and it was supposed to allow me to stay with my son until I figured things out. And then it turned out into 2 locations and a lot of great clients. And I just really, really, really love what I built and really, really love what I do. And I have a relationship that I wouldn't be able to have anywhere else with my clients. But the point is that I can't stand New York one more second. I can't be here. I need to get my son and my family out of here. I can't take my clients with me and my business with me. My husband wants me to sell. He wants me to just sell it. We already kind of ran the numbers, and I know how much I would get for it. But I have an emotional attachment to my business, and I can't bear the idea of leaving my kids. Yeah. Even though I'm no longer in the classroom, I'm just the owner.
Yeah.
So my question is, I thought of going and leaving a manager, but it's just not the same. Yeah. The kids are not going to get, like right now, if they need anything, I jump into the classroom. I know how to do assessments. I just make sure everybody's doing well, mentally, physically. It's what they need. And if I'm just the owner, I've worked for owners before. I know how it works. It just becomes a business. So what would you do?
Dr. Lisa.
No.
All right, listen. I'll let John talk to you about what the emotions are, because you're definitely, I get it. But I think there's 2 stark realities that you just laid out for everybody. Number one, if you keep it open and you don't sell it, then you're managing from Florida, and you're still going to feel all this guilt that you're feeling right now. Like the kids aren't being taken care of because you can't pop in the classroom. And if you sell it to somebody else and go to Florida, you're still going to be dealing with that guilt. So this is a bunch of guilt, Doc. I hear a bunch of guilt. I don't think you can make the decision based on this. I think you've already made the decision to go to Florida. And you know what it's going to yield in the sale. And so I think, John, she's just dealing with guilt. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Lisa, this is gonna be not a great analogy, but I'm going to get as close as I can, okay? So everybody listening, apologies up front. So let's say that a mom brought in a little kid to meet with you, and she'd gotten a divorce from dad, and she hadn't yet told the kid, and the kid keeps asking questions. Where's dad? Where's dad? Where's dad? As a child psychologist, you would look up from that sweet little baby and you'd stare mom in the eyes, what would you tell her?
Oh, my God. Well, first I'll get to know the child, and I'll try to establish some sort of connection.
But what would you tell mom?
That I'm there for her, and that we're going to try to make this work, and that I'm going to be there, and I understand I'm a mom, and I understand what it is to try to give everything we want to our children, and, that I think she came to the right place.
One more step. Maybe I didn't ask the question right. Here's what I'm getting at. You would tell mom that she's got to let her child know that a divorce has happened.
So, wait, we're assuming that mom didn't tell?
That's what I said. Mom has not told the kid yet.
Oh, my God.
And the kid is asking, where's dad? Where's dad? Where's dad? What would you tell that mom?
The kid has no idea. Oh, no, definitely, yes. This is a conversation for mom to have. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I didn't get that part.
Okay, so you need to have that conversation with Lisa.
Oh, my God.
You've made your decision.
Yeah.
It's over. And the last person that wants to have this conversation with Lisa is Lisa. You know that you have to sell this business. If you were in Florida, you wouldn't buy a business in New York and try to run it long distance.
That's what my husband said.
So you got to sell the business. You know that. And I think you have to be honest with yourself about this one cool thing. You built an awesome business, and you helped hundreds of kids and families.
Yes.
And you got to grieve the crap out of it.
Yep.
Because that stinks.
But can I also say you need to celebrate it, Lisa?
Yes!
Grieve that you're going to miss this unbelievable, beautiful organization that you birthed that served families well. And that is grieving. But also celebrate what you did. And can I also just say, this is a little bit on the tough love side. John can cuff me for this on the commercial break. But you know what? You are replaceable.
Yes.
And if you sell it to a really good owner, they're still going to take care of those kids, and you're going to have to let that go, because the reality is it's time for the next chapter in your life.
And there's millions of children that need help and support and love in Florida.
Do it again.
You know that.
Do it again. Repeat the process. Because you know what's really breaking? This is my take. And John and I are friends. I trust him implicitly. I don't even mind if he corrects me right now on the air. I think that you're not so much grieving, you're not so much upset about the kids aren't going to be served. I think you're just really sad to kind of walk away from doing this thing that you really stinking love. And I think you're almost acting as if you can't do that ever again, and this is goodbye forever. And I think you're missing the point that work, that missional result that really makes your heart break right now, that can be gotten somewhere else in Florida. That's what I think.
That's you. It's exactly right. Is that fair? Are we on the nose?
It feels overwhelming because I did it, and it was tough work.
Yeah.
And I overcame so many obstacles. It was insane. Like, opening a business in New York is insane, and everything was insane.
Yes.
And I overcame, and I won, and it felt so good. And I was just like, yes. And then the pandemic came and put everything in perspective, and I just felt that. I was like, wow.
It's both in, Lisa. It's both in.
Yeah.
You did win. You did overcome. You're a winner. You're an overcomer.
Yeah.
And it's time to go to the next chapter.
Yeah. Oh, I got an analogy. Hey, this Sunday night, Tom Brady's walking back into Foxborough to play against the New England Patriots. You know what? Guy won 6 trophies there. It was time for him to leave. Cash the check, Lisa. Hold your shoulders back. You helped a lot of families and a lot of young kids, but you know it's right for your family and your life to move to Florida and find a way to fulfill that mission in Florida and love on some families and build something that continues the legacy of who you really are. Lisa, you're a rock star. So proud of you. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back, America. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague and Ramsey personality, Dr. John Deloney, and we are here for you, 888-825-5225. We're just talking life, money, your work, your purpose, relationships. That's pretty heavy stuff today.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're okay with that.
Absolutely.
Man.
That's what we're here for, man.
I mentioned that earlier, and I just want to mention it again. We will change your name. Kelly's the best in the business. We'll change your name, your location, because we want you to feel safe and the ability to be vulnerable, that we're here to just help you take some steps forward. Yeah. So trust me on that. We'll do that. And I
had somebody call in. We shot an episode of the John Deloney Show this morning, and somebody called in and found out they had HIV and just couldn't catch their breath, and their parents had found out in a really odd, weird way. And I asked who you've told, and the person said, you.
Yeah.
And I got nobody. And unfortunately, especially the last 18 months, we've just found ourselves completely isolated, completely alone, with not a lot of places to turn. And but that's been happening for years and years before, in the last 18 months. It's been revealed. But man, if you find yourself, I just don't know where to turn. That's what we're for. That's what we're for.
Yeah, you know, and I'm so glad you said that, John. That's our heart. And Dave Ramsey did it for years. We do it every day here. But I just want to point that out, because nobody has to know your name and where you're from, if they've got some voice analyzing and whatever. But I just want you to feel safe, that we're here to help you, and we will steer you in the right direction. If we can't give you something on the air, we can find it, and we are wanting to help you. So I just feel like there's somebody right now that's listening. And you may not know who I am, which is fine. You don't know who John is. Maybe you do know who we are, whatever. I'm telling you, you need to call.
Yep. 888-825-5225.
Let's go to Joshua in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Joshua, how can we help?
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
What's up, man?
So I have a question. My wife and I own our own business, and we've been doing Dave-ish for a couple of years. And we actually got to a point where we had paid a good deal off, almost got it there. And then when we started feeling that relief, well, things kind of went back really Dave-ish. So we're now in FPU. We started that this month, and are really going game on. And so one of the things that we've recently figured out is that, I mean, we've been using every dollar for a very long time. However, we're not sure exactly our giving. I'm under the understanding, and you know, I was raised in church, so tithing is an automatic thing. However, we've been doing that, like for September, specifically 10% right off the top from the business revenues. And my wife and I had a discussion this morning to where she was saying, you know, I don't know how we're going to pay all this off if we're giving away all this money, you know, when we could be using it to pay off debt. So I guess my question boiled down is, should we be giving based off the revenues of the company, or off of, you know, what's left over after off the profit, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what are you paying yourself each month? Is it a set amount or does it fluctuate?
Right now it's fluctuating. Last year, we paid ourselves $60,000 each as CEO and CFO. This year is probably going to be a little bit different. We've had less to we put more into the business. So it's not quite as big. But we have our accountant is actually a Ramsey certified, or Ramsey certified accountant. So they've made it to where what we pay ourselves basically pays our taxes, what they've estimated as our tax payments, plus our 401k payment.
Okay, but you understand why I'm asking this. I mean, let's be very clear. We got a lot of people listening here. We're talking about the biblical concept of tithe. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so you called us. I mean, I can tell you very clearly what our position is, what Dave has said. I'll tell you what my position is on this. But, I mean, since I don't want to get too much into Christianese, but, I mean, there's this concept of the priesthood of the believer, right? And that's between you and God. But the Bible's pretty clear, 1/10 of your income, okay? So the reason I asked you what you're paying yourself as your income, that to me is where you start. You called in, though. Is that what your belief is, or have you believed that you need to pay off of what the gross revenues or the net revenues of the company are? Tell us where you stand at this moment.
Well, I think where we're trying to get the happy medium is that I've always believed that it was 10% from jump. That's the very first thing that you take out. And then from there, everything else gets paid. And because my belief is, and I've seen it happen in real world, is that ends up, I don't know how, the math always doesn't work out up front, but somehow it always takes care of it, mysteriously.
Right. So here's the point then. And I'm so glad you shared that. You called two guys and asked us our opinion on this, and the reality is I think the Bible's pretty clear that you pay 1/10 of your income. What your company brings in, and I'm just going to make this example up for easy round numbers. If your company brings in $300,000, but you only pay yourself $150,000, I personally would, if that's what you pay yourself, then I would tithe off of the $150,000, not the $300 that the company takes in. And so that's my position on that. But again, if you want to pay it off of the company's revenue, it's not like that's wrong. It's not like God's going to go, hey, you gave me too much, and I'm a little bit upset. I mean, there is tithe and there are offerings. And I think, honestly, that's between you and the Lord, and I think that's between you and your wife, and this is a marriage issue. And if she's kind of going, hey, I think you have to sit down and go, okay, what do I really believe? There's want to, and then there is have to, if we're talking about obedience here in a spiritual discussion. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think where we are right now is, so we find places to donate, and we, she made the comment the other day that, we donated, whatever it was, $14,000 last month, and we're eating rice and beans. And it's,
well, now let me just let me jump in for a second. If we're saying donate is different than tithe, or are we saying it's the same bucket?
Well, same bucket. With charitable giving, we gave to the church. We had a couple of charity events that we, gave to, things of that nature.
Okay, but listen, Joshua, I kind of agree with your wife. If you're trying to pay off debt, I wouldn't be doing charitable giving.
No, absolutely not.
I would be tithing. That's scriptural. That's what we believe at Ramsey Solutions, okay? But I would not be doing charitable giving. So I don't think it's all in the same bucket. You're putting it all in the same bucket, but I think your wife is right. Rice and beans, and you're giving money to charity? I think she's right. John?
So I like to find places where scripture and science crosses over, which is interestingly all over the place. All over the place.
It's crazy how that works.
And I think it's important to step back and call out the obvious. Josh, you're important to the world, and I'm glad you're here. God doesn't need your money. He's a big boy. There is a spiritual and a psychological and an emotional and a relational strength and submission and orientation towards gratitude, towards realizing this is all passing through our fingers. And you and your wife are arguing over a math problem, and it's a heart problem. Okay? So sit down and don't starve over charitable donations over the top line versus the bottom line. Give your 10% off of your income and feel the gratitude. Feel the thank you. Feel this is just passing through. I'm a steward of God's money, not I'm going to blow my marriage up over the top or bottom line here.
Good stuff. Joshua, work this out. Hey, I want to thank Ben Hill, our producer, our associate producer, call screener, Kelly Daniel, my colleague, Dr. John Deloney, and you, America. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Kelly, associate producer and phone screener for The Ramsey Show. If you would like to do your debt-free scream live on the show, make sure you visit theramseyshow.com and register. We would love for you to come to Nashville and tell Dave your story.
This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio, this is The Ramsey Show. It's where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Dr. John Deloney, and we are here for you this hour. 888-825-5225. It's a free call. 888-825-5225. Thrilled to have you with us. You hear us talk about this all the time on the show. You've heard Dave say it 1 billion times. Everybody needs a will, and it's true. It's a basic adult responsibility, and there's no excuse not to have one.
None. Get a will.
There you go. You heard it from the good doctor there. You've heard us recommend an online will is the fastest, most cost-effective way to get your will taken care of. We do get a lot of questions asking if a simple online will is right for everyone, and we understand that. What if you need a trust or a mirror will? What kind of powers of attorney do you need? Those questions are legit, and if those are on your mind, our team has built a quiz to help you find the right options for you. You'll get custom results based on that basic info, like if you're married or single, where you live, and even the size of your estate. Then you'll know exactly what you need for your specific situation. Take the quiz by texting the word quiz to 33789. Text the word quiz to 33789, and we will also text you back a promo code for 20% off of your will with our Ramsey Trusted Provider. So get clear on what you need and then get a discount to actually get it.
And if
Text
you're
the word
wondering,
quiz.
by the way, I got my will when I moved to Tennessee. I redid it here in Tennessee using our product that's an online will. So if you're wondering, is this going to keep my family safe? Who would ever use this? I did. I'm trusting my family and my family's future with that will.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Don't overthink it. If you need a trust, that's a whole different thing. But that's what I needed. That's what I got, and I'm good to go.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, 888-825-5225 is the number. Let's go to Kyla now, who joins us in Boise, Idaho. Kyla, how can we help?
Hi, I was calling. So my situation, I don't know if you guys have, I just started listening to your guys' show. I'm 33. A single mom, and my daughter passed away back in December. She was in an accident, and we got an estate for her, and I've paid off all my debt. I don't have a car payment. I don't own a house. I am renting right now, but I have helped out some family members, and I have about $150,000 left, and I just want to be smart with it. I have other children, and I'm just not sure. I've never had this amount of money before.
Yeah.
And I just started working again. I didn't work for most of the year just from the grief I was going through.
Sure.
But I'm making, I'm making about $13 an hour full time. And so I just really want to be smart with my daughter's legacy.
You want to honor that baby girl, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old was she when she passed away?
She was 4.
4?
Oh, my God.
What was her name?
Cayenne.
Cayenne.
Like the pepper.
Yeah. Was she spicy like the pepper?
Yeah.
She was a mess, huh?
Isn't that something? Wow.
Yeah, and she was all for God, and she, the last things we ever found of hers was videos of her singing Waymaker. She recorded herself, and it was like little gifts that she left us, and it's just really been weighing on my heart that I need to seek advice, and I need to do what's best for my family's future. And like I said, I've helped out others in my family with the things that they couldn't afford, because I was finally at that point where I could do it and I wanted to.
Sure.
And but now, things have kind of settled down, and I just I want to do something smart with it, but I just feel lost.
Sure. Well, Kyla, this is incredibly heavy stuff, and just
my heart's broken for you. I was going to say, I got a 5-year-old little girl.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And her name's Josephine.
Yeah.
And I don't have a picture of my world without her. And I've sat with a number of moms in your situation, and I can't wrap my head around it. So I want to tell you that, Ken and I are heartbroken with you, and I want to thank you for your bravery for calling today.
Yeah. Kyla, I got to tell you something. I'm sitting here, and you talked about the Waymaker, and I just can't get the lyrics.
Yeah.
Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness.
It's on her headstone.
Wow.
So here's the deal.
Those lyrics.
There is a way forward. We'll get to a couple of items here. First and foremost, you're renting right now. $13 an hour job. Are you doing 40 hours a week? Is that a full-time job, or is it part-time?
Yeah, I could work more than that. They said if I wanted to, but I just I get a lot of guilt being away from my kids longer than that because, like I said, I am a single mom.
Yeah. How old are the other kiddos?
Oh, man. So I have a 14-year-old, 13-year-old, 12-year-old, an 8-year-old, 3-year-old, and a 2-year-old.
Kyla!
Oh, my gosh. We're talking to the real-life Wonder Woman right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so she was she was the third to youngest. And
who's watching the kids?
It's been really hard.
Who watches the kids?
What
you
was
have
that?
support?
Yeah, what's your support system to watch the kids when you are working part-time?
My sister-in-law is a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
So she keeps my 2 little ones, and then my other ones are at school.
Yeah. Well, a couple things here, John. I mean, we'll tag team this really quick. Kyla, I love that you're kind of getting back out there a little bit. You've been through unspeakable grief, and I know there's still probably a lot of healing to do. I want you to get with one of our SmartVestor pros. I know you're brand new to us, so in just a moment, Kelly's going to really connect you further. We want to make sure you sit down with somebody that's a professional that can say, okay, we got $150,000, and we want to maximize this, okay? But right now, you're renting. So at some point, I think we need to look at a home, don't you think? And you've got...
that's where I'm stuck because that's really what I wanted my next move to be. But with this housing market right now,
oh, I got you.
$150,000 is nothing.
No. We're not having you jump into it, John.
Yeah, that's a solid garage. Yeah. Hey, Kyla, let's do this. If you've got a few more minutes, we're about to run into a break, and I want to hold you over the break, and there's several things here I want to walk through step by step with you. You've been brave, and you are going to help millions of people who are going through seasons of loss right now across this country. And we're going to walk you through a few steps financially, interpersonally, relationally with counselor, and we're going to get you plugged into some of our resources. Hang tight. We'll be right back. This is The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
All right, folks, welcome back to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Dr. John Deloney. And just before we went to the commercial break, we got a call from sweet Kyla, a single mom I've lost count of how many kids, a lot of kids. And she's just an absolute hero. And she shared with us that a year ago she lost her 4-year-old princess, Cayenne, who had the personality of a cayenne pepper, she told us, which is so beautiful. And she lost Cayenne in a accident. And so she's received a large chunk of money. She helped out some family, and now she's got $150,000 to invest, to use, and she wants to be careful with it. Obviously, she wants to do the best with it because it is certainly something that has got Cayenne's legacy all over it. So it's a pretty heavy deal, and we wanted to hold her over and keep helping her out and help steer her in the right direction. So, Kyla, you're back with us. Dr. John Deloney is going to take over to start.
Okay. Kyla, 2 quick questions. Where is Dad in all of this?
Dad is in Oklahoma.
Okay. Is he out of the picture?
Yeah, I mean, respectfully, he knows that he's messed up.
Okay.
Because he wasn't involved in her life at all, and so he knows where he stands, and he's just trying to do better himself.
Okay. Yeah.
And
but he's not in the picture, though.
No, he's not.
Okay. The second question I have is that this is new money. You didn't have a lot of money before this. Am I right?
So I grew up with a single mom.
Okay.
My dad wasn't around or involved and never paid child support. And so, yeah, we were always pretty on the poor end. And then I became a mom right when I basically became an adult, and it was kind of the same thing for me. We've always just lived paycheck to paycheck, and so this is the first time ever in any of my families that are still living lives that we've ever had an opportunity like this to kind of turn things around, I guess.
There you go. How much money have you given out to friends and family?
After paying, I had to pay the person who helped with the settlement and everything. So I did about $50,000. So it was a $200,000 settlement.
Okay.
And the person that helped me, I paid about $12,000 to, because he paid a lot of things up front for me as well that I didn't have the money for at the time.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna give you some wisdom up front here, and then we're gonna unpack some things. Okay. I don't want you to give any more money to any more friends and family.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Okay. $50,000 is a lot, almost what I would say taking advantage of a lot, of a hurting mom, a lot. I also know it's got to feel such a gift to be able to take this settlement and help people for the first time in your whole life. I know that feels so good. But I don't want you to give any more money out. You can do what you want. You're a grown woman. You're obviously strong and brilliant. But my recommendation is $50,000 is enough, and it's a quarter of this money, and we're going to move on. The second thing is this, and I want to back out. One of the things that when we get money like this, we start thinking of, what can I buy right now? What can I spend this on? And you've been in fight or flight for so long, both from that's how you grew up, and then you went right into kid after kid after kid, and then a divorce. You've got all these children in your house running around, and then you go through just such a catastrophic loss. Your sweet brain is just trying to solve the next immediate problem. What's the next diaper, the next meal, right? It's everything is immediate. And that is the definition of the cycle of poverty. I don't have enough money, or I don't even have the time to sit down and think because I'm off to my third job, or I'm just trying to get the next meal, and then the next meal, and then the next meal. So what I want you to do for the first time in your life, probably, maybe not, maybe you've been taking care of some business somewhere. I want you to back way out of this thing. And I'm going to hand this to Ken. I want him to walk with you through a dream you may have never had, which is, what do I want to do? What would the greatest legacy, what would it look like if I became a nurse practitioner, I went to med school, or I became a graphic designer, or what are the things that I could do to stick my head up and begin to throw my shoulders back and say, I'm going to take this incredible strength I have and this incredible this character I have, and I'm going to change my family tree in a number of ways, by showing my kids how to work, by taking them on a journey as I go to school, by trying to figure things out. They're going to have to step up and do laundry. They're going to have to figure some things out on their own. And then they're going to look up and say, oh my gosh, my mom changed everything. Right? And so sometimes we think of, I got this money, I want to make sure I buy the right house, or I want to make sure I invest it in the right way. You may be your best investment. Yeah. Right?
Well, I amen to that. I think you are. And so, Kyla, you don't have to feel pressure here, but I want you to do your best. And I know you've been through so much. I want you to do your best to go back to young Kyla, a time, like John said, where you dreamed, where you wondered about a future that didn't involve kids and you know, just kind of struggling and striving. What would you do if you didn't even have to worry about getting qualified? You didn't have to worry about even getting the job. You just would do it. What do you wonder about? What's in your heart?
You mean like what do I love to do? Like as
kind of
far
work.
as like if I had got to pick a career?
Yeah, forget career. Let's go deeper. Calling.
I painted cars.
Really?
And yeah, and I really loved it.
Why'd you love it?
Well, I was turning something, they would bring these old vehicles, rusted up vehicles in, and you would turn something from old to looking almost brand new, and you were good at it, and it was satisfying, and hearing, you know, I'm a woman, and I'm not trying to sound sexist or anything, but when a woman is in a man's industry, they have to work a lot harder.
Yeah.
And,
I don't think you're being sexist. I think you're being
sexist at all.
I think
That's
you're
honest.
being right on.
Yeah.
So let's capture something. You are a creative person. True or false?
Yes.
Yeah.
True. I'm also a choreographer. I choreograph dances for my church.
Oh man, you got creativity exploding out of you. God put you on this planet, Kyla, to create. And let's also find another theme in this. What you loved was restoration. You got joy out of restoration. It wasn't just the creative painting. It was, I was involved in transformation and restoration. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. It was my favorite part is just seeing the before pictures and the after pictures and going, look what I did.
Come on, Kyla. Come on. Listen.
And that's what I really loved. And it's like, and I have this money and I would love to invest in maybe like renting a paint shop or something like that.
All right, now we're on the right track. Now listen, Kyla, I know you got a lot going on right now, so let's just suspend all of that. Let's just be really, really clear on, if I offered you a job today in Boise in a really great shop, and you were making way more than $13 an hour, and you were back to painting and restoring cars or being creative, maybe you were choreographing and teaching young girls dance. I don't know, but it's that creative, restorative, or that creative, transformative work, right? Because the choreographing is transformative too. I design something, I teach it, I see it performed. If we could transform you into any of that type of work, would you do it tomorrow?
Yeah, I would.
So here's the homework. Here's the homework assignment. I want you to dream for a little bit over the next few days. I want you to answer the question, would I go into choreography, the music side, the dance side, or would I get back into the cars and restoration? And I want you to let your heart answer what's at the top. And then here's what's next, Kyla. How do I get qualified? I'm not sure you have to get qualified to get back in that car shop, but let's get back in it. You don't. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to contact some old folks that you used to work with and go, hey, I want to get back in the game a little bit.
Stay on the line. I'm going to send you FPU so you can learn how to manage this money. We're going to hook you up with free counseling here. We're going to send you the proximity principle and Ken's career assessment for free. We're going to set you up.
Kelly, get her on my show next week too, or this week. Let's get a call in. Let's further this phone call. Let's keep going further on the steps you need to take to do the work you were created to do. Thank you, Kyla. We love you. Welcome back to the Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. I'm joined in studio by my colleague, Dr. John Deloney, and we're taking your calls. 888-825-5225. Come one, come all. You are welcome. This is a safe place for you. Let's go to Robin now, who joins us in San Antonio, Texas. Robin, how can we help?
Oh, boy. I'm really lost right now. I'm a single mom.
Yeah.
I have two girls. I'm 47 years old, and 3 years ago I crushed my hand at work, and it's not going to get better. I'm not going to be able to go back to my job. I have a lifting restriction of 25 pounds, and I worked in fire and EMS my entire adult life.
Oh, no. You were good at it too, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. I ran the streets with those cats. Y'all, amazing. But that's wired into your DNA, huh?
Because everything is just crumbling, and I don't know what to do.
All right, well, let's talk about the crumble first.
What's crumbling, hon?
Well, everything I was able to do. I also helped take care of my mother, who's elderly, and everything was going all right. And then I got COVID, and with all of the medications and everything, even with insurance, it was a big expense. And then we got a water leak that I didn't know about, and I have a $1,300 water bill. And I mean, it's just everything, and I'm lost, and I don't know what to do. And
I'm gonna let Ken walk through this with you, Robin. But here's a word I want you to take out of your vocabulary, effective right now. Okay? You trust me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want you to say everything anymore. You said it 4 times in less than a minute. You have some major challenges, okay? But when we say the word everything, our body responds as though we are a meteorite's headed right for us. You do have some major challenges.
It feels like sometimes.
I know it does. But one of the things that's the greatest gift you can give yourself and those around you is to write these things down. Get them out of your head, because it feels like everything, and suddenly you're going to realize it's 4 or 5 things. They're huge, and you don't have the money for them, and you're going to have to change careers, all that. It's big, but it's not everything, okay?
Yeah. Robin, let's start with the income issue. What is your source of income, and how much is it?
It's not much. I get, I'm about to lose the workman's comp payments because according to them, I can go back to work. And very, very small child support.
Okay, so give me a round number. What are you bringing in right now?
About $900 a month.
Okay. All right. So we have an emergency as it relates to that, and I want to dive into something to get your head and heart aligned really quickly, because you're going through it right now. And this is really hard. What would you say if you were to pick one word to describe what you loved about being an EMS firefighter? What was it? What would be the word?
Help.
Yeah.
Helping people.
There it is. So
I have given my entire life to help other people that can't help themselves.
I get it. Now we're on to something. So Robin, do you believe that there are other ways for you to help people who can't help themselves that are not limited by your hand? Do you believe that?
I'm sure, yes.
Right, so say yes. Say yes.
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 Yes, Robin, your hand has been damaged. It is limiting you in a very, very clear area of service, but it's not the only area of service. You have experience. You have skills. Give me a skill and experience where you go, I'm top notch at this, Ken, and it has nothing to do with me using my hand. Take me back to being a firefighter or an EMS. Give me a skill or some experience where you go, Ken, I was a rock star at this, and it actually didn't require me using my hand. Give it to me.
I'm part of a critical incident management team.
Yes, I'm certified in that too.
People.
You don't have to use your hand. Tell her, John.
No, you take people who have just seen the worst of the worst of the worst, and you bring them peace, and you bring them into the now, and then you help them you point them in the direction of the care they need.
And Robin, if it happened right now in the midst of your pain, if you were driving along and something happened, could you not step out and take over and be world class at it? What we just described.
Yes.
Yes. I know. So Robin, those folks who say you can return to work, I know you think they're bad guys for saying it, but they're kind of the push you need right now because you can. You are experienced and you are skillful. Yes or no?
Yes.
No, say it better than that.
That was
pathetic. Robin, you are skillful and you are experienced. Yes or no?
Yes.
There we go. Now, Robin.
Listen, few people that I've run across are more of a gang than fire EMS. You're missing your gang, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, you miss your gang. What a tight-knit group of men and women who run the streets at night while the rest of us are sleeping, taking care of stuff that we don't even know is going on. That's your gang, and you miss them in your soul. Yeah. But it's not a reflection of your inability to go make good in the world in another area.
All right, so Robin, we're trying to accomplish a lot. Real quick, I want you and John to brainstorm together. I'm going to facilitate you and John because you and John know this area better than me. No, I'm serious. I don't have the knowledge.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. What are some jobs that are related to maybe in that space that she is qualified for right now?
You ready, Robin?
Go.
Nursing, dispatch, counseling, critical care debriefing, social work. What else?
What do we miss, Robin?
I don't know.
We didn't miss anything.
Sorry. Med school.
What I'm trying to figure out.
Med school, law school.
All right. So now, Robin, some of those answers seem intimidating. What we're trying to do here is get your head going. Wait a second. I am not damaged goods. I am not done. I'm as valuable as I ever was. It just means I got to pivot and get in a different space. Robin, I'm feeling the juice. Are you feeling the juice, Robin?
I'm trying.
I know. Now listen. Now, Robin, you're in a crisis. So what we got to do right now is we got to get a job. Mm-hmm. We got to start working 2 jobs that don't require you to use your hand. I'm not being insensitive. I'm just calling it out. Are you with me, Robin?
Yes.
$900 a month is poverty level. You're more than that. You can make money. You must go make money. And while you're just getting stable with getting some income coming in and paying off the water bill and all the things, listen to me, you're reconnecting with the tribe that John just talked about because that tribe loves you. That tribe knows you, and that tribe is connected, and they can help open up some doors. True or false?
True.
True, 100% true.
And if you called them up and cried on their shoulder, what would they do? What would they say?
They would be here immediately to help me.
Then why don't you ask for help?
It would be really cool to have some of your old gang come over to your house. You get the cheap beer and pizza that those knuckleheads drink and eat and say, all right, we got to shake up the snow globe.
Love that.
Y'all worked with me. What do I got to go do something, and I'm going to continue to help people.
Yep.
So do I go to grad school and become a counselor or a social worker? And some of them are going to laugh and be like, honey, you are not a counselor. We got an opening in dispatch right now that's going to pay $42,000. We got you hooked up. Or we need someone to help fix the Y or the Z or the A or the B, whatever it's going to be. And that team is going to walk with you.
Yep.
You're lonely and you're exhausted, and you do have some real money problems. You got to get on the hook on that.
Yep.
Okay? It's both and.
Call the water department and tell them your story, and don't be afraid to cry to somebody on the other end and say, I'm going to pay this off. Just give me a little bit of time, and let's get back in the game. Let's start making money. Your hand is no longer a limit. Your hand is a badge of honor. It's a reminder that you are scarred, but you are valuable. Don't you dare quit, Robin. You got this. I know you do. This is The Ramsey Show. Welcome back, America. You are joining the conversation here on The Ramsey Show. 888-825-5225 is the phone number to join in. Today's scripture, Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Today's quote, John Carmack, focus is a matter of deciding what things you're not going to do.
Hey, Kim, before we take the go to the next call, I want to circle back to a call we had a minute ago with Kyla. And, again, she has a number of children. She's lost a child in a tragic accident a few months ago. Single mom, dad's out of the picture. And we didn't get to it, but I do want to make sure we just tell the audience. She mentioned she's really struggling with going back to work because she feels guilty being away with the kids. She has some family help, and it's tremendous. What a gift that is. I want to tell everybody who is working a $13 an hour job or a $12 an hour job that's trying to make ends meet and also has kids and is stuck in that trap of, I feel so guilty that I don't have my kids, and so I feel like this is all I can do right now. And you get this on this treadmill of guilt and shame and guilt and shame, and you get stuck financially, you get stuck professionally. What I want to tell everybody is when you're clear with your kids and they're able to go to a safe place, especially if it's for a season, but even if it's not for a season, if this is it has to become I am the one who's going to stare down the forest fire that's raged through my family, as Terry Real says, of financial challenges, of trauma, of whatever it is. I'm going to be the person who makes the change. Your kids are going to feel it and see it and be honored and blessed by it. Especially if you don't live out of guilt, but you live and look them in the eye and say, Mom is working 3 jobs because I have to. That's how much I love you. And I miss you, baby, with all my heart. And it is going to cut down on times when some people you're going to hear people at work saying, I just watch shows when I get home. And you're going to think, oh my gosh, how do you do that? I have to do laundry and bedtime, and I just get to read a book and I fall asleep in the bed too. All of that stuff is worth it. That is generational, changing work ethic and a gift to your family. And I know that guilt is real, but I want you to know sometimes I'm going to school, it's going to take 4 years, and I'm going to miss a lot of games. But on the back end of that, my kid's life is going to be different. I want you to lean into those seasons and go full force and be honest with your kids about it, but don't not do things and live in the stuck because of that guilt.
I agree. I don't think there's a more valuable lesson that you could teach them than the many things they will observe. And I think you're right. The honesty, when you just tell them, kids are so adaptable, and you tell them why you're doing it. They may not understand it at first, but boy, oh boy, you want to talk about cementing.
You're changing everything. Yeah, they'll experience that at the genetic level.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that's really good stuff. 888-825-5225 is the number. Let's go to Boston, Massachusetts. Greg joins us there. Greg, how can we help? Greg?
Hi, guys. Thanks for taking my call today. Oh,
yeah.
Hello.
What's up, Greg?
You're live on the air,
Hey-o.
Greg.
Hi, thanks for taking my call today.
Yeah. What's up?
So I just wanted to talk to you guys. So I just recently purchased a home with my new wife, and we both work, so we're at baby step number 2 of the baby steps, and we have $1,000 saved, and we're now tackling the debt spiral. And through Dave's teachings, is talking about how you should pay off the smaller debts to the largest. Well, I have a 0% interest on a thing. I purchased a bunch of furniture to fill my house, and I purchased it at 0% interest. And I have a higher debt at 18% interest. And I'm wondering if I should tackle the lower debt first at 0% or pay off the higher debt at 18%.
Yes.
Do it in order. Do it the right way.
The reason that we teach it, and I understand you're thinking the math, you're going, well, Ken, I got 18% on this and 0 here. That's not what we're making that decision on. This is all about momentum.
Psychology.
It's the psychology. When you pay off the smallest debt, you get the hit from it, John, take him through it. There's a reason why we do that.
Yeah, you're right to look at the math. Good for you. You're right. You are.
Right.
What's going to happen is you're going to knock out this furniture in 1 month, maybe 2 months. And then you and your wife are going to high-five each other, and you're going to take the money that you put in towards that, and you're going to roll it into the next one. You're going to roll it into the next one. What you're going to get, Ken calls it momentum. It's a psychology. It's all the same. We can use whatever word we want. We're playing a relationship game. We're playing a psychology game. We're getting little wins game. What's going to happen if you try to go look at the highest interest rate? It's going to be, $7,500 for the 18% interest. You're going to go 1 month, 2 months. You're going to look up, and it's going to be $6,500. You've paid off $500 a month, which is great, but you're going to feel like you're not going anywhere. And the temptation to slip back, to go out to eat, let's go ahead and go on vacation, it's Christmas time, is too great. And we've put millions of people through this plan. So it's not us just wheeling and dealing. And I know you're going to be like, nah, bro, I won't fall into the thing. Just trust us. Put the math aside, put your debts in order, smallest to largest, and start knocking them out one after the other, after the other, after the other.
Yep. Trust the process,
Don't overthink
number one.
it, man. That's right.
But number two, let that 18% on that next level up thing, let that really
it burn
drive
a hole in you.
Yeah, that'll help you get through that first one a lot faster. Let's go.
Don't buy furniture on payments.
Oh, watch out.
Don't.
Yeah.
Buy. That's not even a depreciating asset. It's an asset in every word. It's for your butt, dude. God almighty. Yeah. Don't put that on payments. It's a couch.
Yeah, that's true. And this is coming from a guy who'd rather sleep in a hammock anyway, so now he's really fired. I love it. Let's go to Hannah, who joins us in Scottsdale, Arizona. Hannah, how can we help?
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, you guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Yeah.
I'm a single mom with one child that just recently graduated from high school. And also, she just turned 18 this month. She knows what she wants to do in career. I just need to see how to help her with emotionally yet, because she's such an introvert child and not having friends or so. She's trying to get a job right now, and just for the sake of having friends. I don't know if that's the right idea. And also encouraging her emotionally too as well. She's trying to apply for scholarships to go to a university. She just started it, a community college that I'm paying out of my pocket for. And she's not getting any scholarship approved. Everything has been denied. It's becoming a little emotional for her. She stopped crying and stuff. So I need guidance. What to say, what to do. I'm constantly encouraging her, but it feels like when she's not seeing any result, it's made her sad.
Yeah, and the sadness is real. Do you have a good friend community that you are connected with, or are you an introvert as well?
No, I'm not an introvert. It's just that I have bad friends that I don't connect with them anymore.
Okay.
So I'm just all work, home, that's it.
We're running up against the clock here, so I'm going to be real direct with you because I love you, okay?
Thank you.
We can talk to our kids, and sometimes when we're sad, we try to make those cognitive issues as we can explain that kind of stuff. Kids watch us. And if you want your daughter to learn how to connect, she's going to watch how you connect with other people, how you connect with her. And so in this season where she's still living at home, for as long as she's living at home, y'all can have breakfast dates. You can do practice interviews in the living room. The things I'm saying are going to be silly and you're going to feel ridiculous and cheesy. At this point, she needs to practice relationships. And it sounds like you are the safest person in her life. She doesn't have anyone else to do this stuff with. So I want you to download. I've got a thing on at johndeloney.com. You can download 20 questions. It's just conversation starters. How to have conversations. We're actually printing up the cards. Take your daughter out. Use those things. And y'all practice being in a relationship with people again. And she's going to watch you connect with your friends. So go connect with other people as well.
Yeah. And reminder, rejection's part of the game.
It stinks and it hurts.
It's not personal.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to thank my colleague, Dr. John Deloney. Great being with you, pal. I want to thank our producer, Ben Hill, our associate producer and call screener, Kelly Daniel. But mostly we want to thank you, America, because we do this show for you. It is your show. It is The Ramsey Show.
This is James Childs, producer of The Ramsey Show. Did you know The Ramsey Show is one of the most popular podcasts in the world? Subscribe or follow today wherever you listen to podcasts.